Hello there, Virgo. Let's do some love messages. If you resonated with the title of the video, resonated with my face, there's a pretty good chance there's a message in there for you that's going to be good for you. But let's just, for those Virgos who needed to hear this message, here it is. So I'm going to stir up these cards here and we'll find out what the trajectory of this reading is going to take. Who we're going to be serving here. Ten of Swords, which is like, I've had enough. I've had enough. Oh, goodness, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through that, Virgo. It's like the words and the thoughts that just like keep coming and coming and coming and coming. I get it. I've been through that. Sometimes I feel like I'm in it. Yeah, I get it. Well, the reason I'm like, oh, is that me? Is because I'm a Virgo sun myself. And so I'm like, ooh, is that me right now? Well, I mean, it could be, yeah. It's just like I give up. It's really what that is. It's like I keep trying, but then it just doesn't work out, and I just give up. Like, there's some of you that are like in connections where you're like, I've had enough. I'm tired of this. And then there's some of you who have like dabbled here and there, and you're like, wow, everybody out there is like not worth my time. Okay, all right. But you don't like that, do you? You don't like how that feels, right? Because you're like, I don't want to be one of those people. It would just be like, I'm happy being independent. If that was your thing, if you were happy being independent, then you'd be like, I'm happy being independent. I don't need anybody else. But it's actually hurting. This is a painful vibration. It's like, really? Is that the way I'm going to go out? Is like with these silly people doing goofy things to me, and like me not being able to connect with people, or people misjudging me, people like, pigeonholing me when I'm trying to date them, when I give my all to a connection, they end up like, wandering off, or they don't appreciate my efforts. It doesn't feel good, right? So let's look at some solutions. Let's look at some like different perspectives. Let's look at some solutions. Ask for some guidance. What to consider, Virgo. Whoop, going forward. Yeah, there's that Scorpio energy. Some of you have have a certain kind of guy that you like, a certain kind of energy on repeat you keep connecting with over and over and over again, and that might be one of the issues. Sorry if there's any Scorpios cross-watching, or Scorpio or Pisces, that's what I'm feeling, that are cross-watching with this King of Cups here. Whoever they are, they're like, you know what I'm talking about, all right? And it's just like, oh, this is so exhausting, having to deal with that over and over and over again. Every connection that you get in, it's the same kind of people. Well, Virgo, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you this. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you, but I'm going to say it anyway. That if you let yourself be attracted to a different kind of person, you're going to get a different kind of experience. Now, I'm not saying that you're like connected with someone and you're like, what's your sign? And they're like, I'm Gemini, and you're like, oh, thank goodness, right? And then you're like looking at their chart later on, and you find out, oh my God, they had a Scorpio moon. That's why I was attracted to them. So I'm not saying you need to be looking into their chart and stuff. I'm talking about the vibration, the bad boy vibe, right? The loner, I'm like, the dark, moody, I'm a loner kind of energy. That's like kind of a sad sack, kind of self-pitying. But at first they come across like they're tough, right? Like they're like, I don't need anybody else. I'm independent. I'm smarter than all these other people. And Virgo resonates with that because they think they're smarter than other people too. And so, and they're saying to Virgo, you're the only person who understands me for who I am, this deep, emotional person. And Virgo's like, and then next thing you know, they're just like, drinking and acting like morons. And you're like, what did I get myself into? It's the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so try something different. What's the vibe of this person? Is this a person that is responsible for themselves? Is this a person that thinks that they're better than other people? Is this a person that gives off emotionally manipulative red flags? Think about how the beginning of every sordid connection you've ever had started out. Was it that they came on strong right away? That's a red flag. I didn't know. I thought that it was all like the romance movies, right? Where the guy, Heathers, right? In Heathers, where like the bad boy comes into town, Christian Slater, he comes into town, he's like a tough loner, just kind of moody, and he like takes a liking to me. He wants to hang out with me all the time, and it's just like we're like peas in a pod, and we're always hanging out together, and he's just like, I could imagine marrying you, and like we've only known each other 2 weeks. And I thought that was what romance is, right? I thought that's what a good connection with someone was, but it turns out that that's like what's the word that they use for that? Love bombing? And it's a tool that's used for emotional manipulation. And so then I end up in over and over again, I would end up in these relationships that would take off too fast. L-bombs, yeah, when they give them to you too soon. That's an issue. Before they have a chance to even really get to know you for who you are. If you question it at all, that's kind of like, you got to be careful, keep them at an arm's length. Start teaching yourself how to be cool with being on your own. And you know what I've been doing is I have been meditating, doing my prayers, doing my meditations on guidance to seeing how healthy relationships run their course, so that I know what is not okay when it's happening. And what's ended up happening is that I am not attracting these energies anymore. Okay? That's one thing. I'm not attracting those energies anymore. But I'm like, oh wow, there's nobody I'm attracted to anymore. Because the bad boys don't turn me on anymore. And I still haven't learned, I'm still in that in-between place where I haven't learned to be turned on by nice guys. But I've seen them. They are something that exists, Virgo. Nice guys exist out there. Guys that are responsible for themselves. Guys that listen to your boundaries without becoming like moody about it. When you're like, I got these other things I need to take care of. They don't get moody about it, right? They can pay their own bills. They can go to sleep without any extra help. And they're not trying to carry on multiple relationships at the same time. If you're out there looking for guys, here's a wonderful sign of a nice guy. If you're out there looking for guys, they have guy friends. That's really important. If their only friends are attractive women, that's a problem. Oh, listen to that. Okay, blah, 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 sharing all my opinions. But, we needed to hear it, right? So what's the long-term trajectory for Virgo before we close out? For the Virgos who are connecting with this, if they learn to retrain themselves to not be so attracted to bad boys, to start being attracted to actual nice guys, what's the trajectory? I'm asking my deck, itty bitty little deck. What's the trajectory for Virgo when they teach themselves to be attracted to nice guys? Ace of Swords. So new communication. You know what's going to happen? I see this really good connection with this card coming up, but so much of it, well, look at this. It's a transition from the Ten of Swords to the Ace of Swords. So learning how to speak up for yourself is really important, because when you're in these connections with these moody guys, you're not able to speak up for yourself. You lose your voice, okay? Because you're afraid if you say the wrong thing, they're going to get moody. All right. But what I'm seeing is a transition where you're going like, I've had enough of these kinds of connections. Okay. Now I'm ready to do things in a different way. I'm not going to give up on connecting with other people, but I'm going to do it in an entirely different way. I'm going to speak up for myself from the beginning of a relationship. I'm going to say I'm not comfortable with that at the beginning of a relationship. And what happens is these kinds of guys aren't attracted to that. They're not interested in it. And that's okay. You're better off. But the nice guys love it. The nice guys love it when you speak up for yourself, when you tell them what they should expect from you. Like when they know where they stand with you. Really nice guys appreciate that. And it's just like transitioning from being like, I'm the victim, to being, because you see how this guy has all the swords in his back. He's transitioning from being, I'm the victim, to I'm in control. I'm in control of my love life. I'm in control of my connections with other people. So wonderful. This is where I've got to leave off, Virgo. Excellent. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but the process is going to run its course and you're going to come out of it as a stronger person. Love you, and I'll see you later.